Hello Libra, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Libra is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It's totally free, doesn't cost anything. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Libra, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And a 9 of Cups. Beautiful. I can't believe this. This is the card of happiness, right? This is the card of living a happy life. It's the dream that keeps on dreaming. It's the happiness that keeps on happening. This is really, really good, right? This is following your bliss. All right, let's put this into some context. Let's see how this is manifesting for you. We've got a 10 of Wands. We've got the Hierophant. We've got a Knight of Pentacles. A 4 of Pentacles. And, oh yeah, okay, all right, 10 of Pentacles. We have, with the 10 of Wands, it's maximum effort, maximum reward. By giving something your all, right? And the feeling of that being, let's say, well received by the world. Putting all of your energy into something and feeling as if you're actually building your best life, making a difference. You are living your purpose. You're living your dream, right? I think is giving you a sense of overwhelming satisfaction, an overwhelming sense of purpose in your life. And you're building your very best life. Yeah, you're putting all of your effort into doing what is meaningful for you right now. And that's extraordinary. We have a 5 of Cups over here. We have the High Priestess. We've got that Devil card. And we have a 9 of Swords. Interesting. Interesting with the 9 of Swords. And I kind of wonder if the 9 of Swords, 9 of Cups, it's sort of, it's either I follow my bliss and I try to live a life that's meaningful, and I try to pursue happiness, or the exact opposite is going to happen, right? So that's kind of the idea here. I've talked about it before, where it's, if you're following your will, if you're in tune with your soul, with your spiritual energy, if you are trying to live your purpose, if you're living a life of meaning, if you are in alignment with your higher self, that's a 9 of Cups. If you are not, we are in despair. If not, it seems as if Spirit is sending us a lot of nightmares in order to wake us up and to get us back in alignment. We're either pursuing our bliss and pursuing our happiness and living a life that's meaningful and purpose-driven, whatever that means to you, or we're in this kind of despair. And sometimes life is that black and white. Okay? Could be. Anyway, let's select our mystery card, right? Our bonus card, our confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the Factor Infinite and Unknown. We're just going to set it down right here with Bell Schnickel right on top. Cheer or fear. Bell Schnickel is here. It's a miniature version of the Bell Schnickel I have right over there. It's a bigger one. But we're not going to look at that card until the end. If at any point during this program you feel like you know what that card is, or you have a hunch, put it in the comments down below. Yeah, let's use our intuition. Intuition is going to be a very big factor in your life right now. The High Priestess is in the environment for you. You are experiencing more and more synchronicity in your life. And synchronicity works both ways, right? When you're living your best life, when you're doing what you're meant to do, when you're answering the call and you're in service to your soul and to spirit, you will receive confirmation from the world around you. You will receive synchronicities that are reinforcing that Nine of Cups, what you're doing. If you're not living that life that you know you should be living, Spirit's going to confirm that through synchronicities as well. Synchronicities don't always have a pleasant emotional tone to them. Sometimes the synchronicities are going to be there to wake you up from this nightmare, where Spirit's saying, get back in line with your true self. Get back in line with your life, with your soul, right? And answer, you're putting in work either way, right? Either way, you got that 10 of Wands. So we can either have a 9 of Cups underneath it, or we can spend all of our energy creating more misery. Which do you prefer? I mean, that's a rhetorical question. I know what you would prefer. We'd rather put all of our energy into living a life that feels satisfying to us. It doesn't mean that it's going to be a pleasant life. Every day is going to be sunshine and roses and puppy dogs' tails and candy and nuts, right? No, it means that some days are going to be good days, some days are going to be bad days. We're on this roller coaster of life. We're in this world of contending forces. There will be 5 cups. Anytime we have a 4, anytime we have stability, we have instability. These two go together like peanut butter and jelly, right? So we know that any sort of stability we have is going to take maintenance to keep it together. That there's going to be fluctuation. Things are going to happen. We're going to have heartbreak. We're going to have sorrow. We're going to lose people, right? People are going to pass from our lives in one way or another. It's going to happen to all of us at some point, more than likely. And so we're okay with that, right? We've come to terms with that. We don't like it, but that's part of life. And that doesn't subtract from our happiness, right? It doesn't subtract from this idea that we're living a purposeful life. We're living a life full of meaning, not necessarily a life that's always pleasant and always feels good. That's not what happiness is here, okay? So we are either in service of our best life or in service of our worst life, okay? Now, looking around the room, we do have our major arcana energies. We have the Hierophant, we've got the High Priestess, and that Devil card. Okay. We've got fire energy here. We've got water and water. We've got air. And then we've got earth. A lot of earth. And actually the Hierophant too, being that Taurus energy, you're surrounded by this earth energy. And so it's kind of like in the context of your world right now, wherever you are in your life, whatever, literally, the position you find yourself in now, the room that you're in right now, this is where we do the work. The body that we're in, the time and space that we're in right now, is where we do the work. And it doesn't matter if the conditions are absolutely ideal or not. And maybe that speaks to our Hierophant here down beneath the surface. One, I think you're very much trying to connect with your higher self as a guide, as a counselor, as the one who you can turn to ask questions. Am I living the right life? And then, of course, you get a confirmation from the world around you via the High Priestess energy. And that sort of gives you the answer, yes or no, right? So this is that spiritual guide within you. This is the daimon, this is the higher self, the true self, the guardian angel, spirit guide, ancestors, right? Whatever you want to call it. Is that inner spiritual guide, that counselor. And I think we're trying to live as closely aligned with that spiritual energy as possible. And that will put us in a 9 of Cups sort of life, rather than a 9 of Swords, obviously. I think the Hierophant also is part of this desire that we all have of like wishing the conditions were different. Well, if I was just in a different climate, if I just had more of this particular resource, if I just didn't have this health problem, or, if I was a little bit taller, then maybe things would be different. Then I could do it, right? But we're getting out of that energy because we realize that the situation that we're in now, the body we're in, the height that however tall we are right now, this is it. This is what we have to work with. And this is where that work takes place. It's kind of it's one of those, I think, age-old ideas that the spiritual work and the sort of human, earthly work do not have to be separated. It's not that our spirituality has to be separate from our mundane, so-called physical, earthly life. Okay? That it is in the most mundane of things that we can find the most spirituality. And that is what we are tasked with. Also, it's this idea that, we don't have to have either this very, very specific success or career or financial abundance, right, separate from what makes us happy. Okay? And in some ways, this is kind of, this is a reading that's saying we can choose to love what we're doing. We can choose to be connected with Spirit right now in whatever situation we're in. Yeah, we're always going to work to better our station in life, to succeed more, to get more resources, to advance on our path, to become more successful, to have more abundance in life, right? But we don't need to think that, okay, I can't be happy now. What I need to do is change my life, and then I'll be happy. No, I think that the Nine of Cups has to happen now. Wherever you are, that's the work, is to recognize that we can be in line with our spiritual purpose right now. And then the earth energy, we're sort of radiating out this water and this creative energy, this love, right? And this fire, this consciousness, and that's going to change the world around us, right? Rather than waiting for the world around us to become more ideal, and then I can start being happy. Okay, so the Hierophant, I think, is learning that lesson, that the conditions will never be ideal. There's never going to be the optimal time to start living your true life, your true purpose, pursuing your bliss and your happiness, and having that kind of purpose-driven life. Yeah, there's going to be no better time than right now. Maybe yesterday was better, but right now is pretty much the opportunity that we have. Now, in the background, you've got a Knight of Pentacles, looking at the future. And sometimes we're looking at the future, and what we're seeing is collecting more resources. The Knight of Pentacles pretty much always looking at the Ten of Pentacles and thinking, that's the goal I'm after. I want more pentacles. I want more coins, And that's a very natural and a very human goal. But who's to say that has to be all there is in life, right? Can we do that with some purpose, some joy in there, right? Some abundance. And the Nine of Cups is abundance on the physical, financial, mental, emotional, and the spiritual, creative planes. This by itself is just abundance on the physical plane. And this is usually pretty good. We got enough money, our health is getting better, and I think that is a wonderful goal, right? But if that is what we are, if that is our only purpose in life, then I think the Four of Pentacles is saying, well, hey, you know what? That's temporary. All that stuff's going to fade away. Your health is going to fade away. Your wealth is going to fade away at some point. There is something deeper and more mysterious in life that we should be applying ourselves to. There's something maybe more creative. There's something that is coming from a deeper place within you. So the Nine of Pentacles is now looking at the future, looking at that Ten of Pentacles and thinking, okay, Ten of Pentacles is good, but it needs to be filled with something. The Ten of Pentacles by itself, they're just empty shells. It's just money for no reason, right? If we're not enjoying the journey from here to there, let's look at it that way, linearly. If you're looking at your future, and this is the future we want, are we going to enjoy the journey? Are we going to grow? Is there a purpose in this? Or is there a lack of purpose? Is there despair? Is it just miserable getting to that 10 of Pentacles. Because then you're going to get to the goal and you're not going to care. It's going to be like, okay, good. I got to the goal. Finally, I'm done. You know? What we want is to enjoy that journey. Yeah. And when we enjoy the journey, guess what? We're more motivated. We're more productive. We're happier, and we are more inspired, and we're willing to put in all the extra hours. Right? We're willing to do the things that sort of make us uncomfortable. We're willing to, to work with people that, well, we really don't like, but it doesn't matter. Those things aren't as important to us anymore. We're willing to expend the energy because the journey itself is what is meaningful. And we're getting those results anyway. We're building our best life here. And again, that 10 of Pentacles, it's not just going to be empty shells. The Pentacles are just the vessel for the water energy, for the love, right? So to have the 10 of Pentacles without the 9 of Cups, this is just empty. This is saying that you're going to achieve this goal, but you're going to feel miserable about it. It's not going to do anything for you. You're not going to find any meaning or any pleasure in that, right? What you want to do is fill these Pentacles with that water energy. Now, the path itself is meaningful, purposeful, joyous, abundant, even in its fluctuations. And getting to the goal is intensely satisfying as well, right? But the strong message here is that the emphasis is on the journey, not the destination, right? Because you are in this process of building your best life. It's an ongoing thing, and you're building it with purpose. This is the picture of your best life. It's not just money. This is everything. This is your health. This is your relationships, right? This is your creativity. Yeah. And your spiritual connection. This is your spiritual life. This is your connection with the environment. It's your interpersonal relationships. It's your pets, your plants, your people. It's everything. Okay. And the effort that we put into that, it feels good. The more effort we put into it, the more sort of satisfying it gets. And then the more satisfying it gets, the more energy we put into it. It's kind of like the dopamine into adrenaline sort of conversion of those neurochemicals, right? It feels good to do it. We're going to do it more and more and more and more. And if it, of course, doesn't feel good to do it, then we're less likely to continue the path. We're less likely to have very much meaning in this at all, right? So I think that you have a very clear idea of what you want your life to be. And sort of, I think you're sort of shifting focus, yeah. Because if you're looking at the future, you may be focused on the end goal, the end result. I just want this success. I want the money. I want the fortune and the fame. But the thing about the 10 of Pentacles is that it's not just a 10 of Pentacles. It's an 11. It's a 12. It's a 20. It's a 30. It's a 100. It's 1,000. It never ends. How much is enough, right? So we're focused on that goal and saying, well, I'm not gonna worry about being happy now. I need to get to the goal first. Then that's going to make me happy. Well, the goal never arrives. Because we get to the 10 and we think, well, I need a little bit more, I need a little bit more, I need a little bit more. You see? So instead of the focus being on that, now we're shifting focus, and now we're focused on this. See? And now we're focused on if I put the effort into leading a meaningful life and a purpose-driven life, the Pentacles will take care of themselves. You take care of the Cups, the Pentacles will take care of themselves. Okay. The 4 of Pentacles here, I think that you are very much concerned with establishing a foundation in your life. It could be that we are returning to a very stable state in terms of our health. It could be that our financial situation will feel better once we get some bills paid off, we get a little bit of the debt taken care of, and we have a nice, stable ground underneath us. This card is all about safety, security, and stability. And this seems to be a priority right now. Because once we have this, then we can sort of start thinking about, okay, well now I feel that I'm allowed, or I'm giving myself the freedom or the permission to really focus on the satisfying, joyous life. And sometimes just establishing this solid foundation gives us that feeling of satisfaction, of joy. Think, okay, you know what, I paid off some bills, I have a little bit of money in the bank, I'm taking care of my health in the best way that I can, things are pretty good. Right? And so now we feel like we're allowed to take a breath. We're allowed to start focusing on these higher things. Right? We're not stuck with just the bottom three, the physical, financial abundance, right? We have stability. Okay, good. Physical, financial stability. Now we can focus on the mental, emotional abundance and the spiritual, creative abundance. Now we can really start focusing on, okay, what is the meaning of my life? Why am I here? What is my soul urging me to do? What is my bliss that I'm supposed to be following, in the words of Joseph Campbell, right? But it's hard to do that when we don't have this basic stability. And so I think this has to come first, right? But we realize too that the 4 is always an illusion. The 4 is the illusion of safety, security, and stability. And we may reach a point where, we feel that it's stable enough that I can focus on these so-called higher things. But this is never going to remain stable. It's always going to be in fluctuation. Again, a 4 to a 5 is always the process. Every 4 of the tarot becomes a 5. So this may be a temporary stability, but it's going to take some maintenance to keep it going. Right? We're going to have to get those habits in place and get those, it's kind of like you get into a certain state of physical health and you think, okay, I've done that, now I can focus on these other things. Well, if you don't maintain the physical health, it's just going to go back to chaos. It's going to go back to what it was. That's why these so-called, diets don't work. Because we do the extreme thing, we get to a certain point, whatever the metric is, we get to that stability and we think, okay, I'm done. Now I can just focus on these other things. Well, over time, we go right back to the bad habits because we're not maintaining the good habits that are going to keep us consistently in this stability. Okay. So we really do need this, and we need to establish the good habits, the healthy routines, that are going to give us a nice headquarters, right, for these higher aspirations. Yeah, for the mental, emotional, spiritual, creative aspirations that you have. But, makes sense that, first thing is the physical, financial stability to give us a little bit of breathing room, let's say, in order to pursue these higher things. But the 10 of Wands here is very important because it is maximum effort in your life. That you're not slacking in any way. Okay? And I think that you're putting in the extra effort, you're going the extra mile in order to fill these cups up, to build your life in the best way possible and keep it full of this water energy. These two together, this is really literally the best life. A meaningful, a satisfying life that is rich, that is abundant. There's a wealth here, right? There are resources here. This is really, really good. It's like you don't just want the money, right? You want the experience that money may give you the freedom to have, right? It's not about the resources themselves, but for one, it's the journey of getting there. The journey of building those resources. That's, if you're doing what you love to do, or you're learning to love what you do, then the process of working or striving or creating, maybe you're retired, maybe you're not, maybe you're not in the middle of your career, but it doesn't matter what it is that you're doing. It doesn't matter what the pentacles really are. What matters is why you're doing it. What is motivating you to put in all of this extra effort? Yeah, what is going to get you motivated? What fires you up? I think it's because you are living a life that is purpose-driven, because you feel that this is meaningful and valuable in a way beyond just like the dollars and cents. It motivates you to give it your best, to put in the extra effort, to do the hard work, because it's satisfying. because it means something. Okay? And I think Spirit confirms all of this through your dreams, through synchronicities, through a lot of images, a lot of messages coming from Spirit now. And I think your intuition is really tapped in. I think the synchronicities are going to start rolling in faster and faster for you. And that's sort of that's an affirmation too. That's a confirmation that you're on the right path. You know? If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It is totally free, doesn't cost anything. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. Your general energy, 5 of Cups, right? It doesn't seem that great. But I think it's very important that we understand that we accept the fluctuation of emotion. There are good days and bad days. Some days I'm just not in a good mood. Other days, you know, I'm stressed out about bills or the physical stuff that's going on. Other days I'm just, you know, like I've been riding this recumbent bike for a month now, right? I did something to a ligament in my knee, and now every time I move my knee, it sort of hurts right on the kneecap. So I'm not always really in the most cheerful kind of mood with that, and sometimes going up and down the stairs, it hurts a little bit more. But anyway, the idea is even with the fluctuation of our affect, of our feeling tone, of our emotion, there is this unceasing sense of purpose and meaning and joy and abundance in life. Okay. When you see somebody who is always overly cheerful and overly happy, it kind of makes you wonder, right? It seems unnatural. Someone who never has any other moods, right? It's just kind of like, what's going on there? You know, it just seems like in nature it's abnormal, right? And I try to be as cheerful as possible, but ask my wife, I'm not always in the best mood. You know, things fluctuate, and that could very much be related to a lot of different factors. Okay, anybody, and a lot of the time we think of an enlightened being or a spiritual being is someone that has to always be happy, always be in the best mood, always just have this smile, blissed out look on their face, you know? And I don't believe that. Because I believe, and you know, maybe that's possible if we completely isolate, if we went complete hermit mode and isolated ourselves from life and lived in the woods somewhere. Maybe we could just be smiling, blissed out in just in nirvana 24/7, right? But even then, I think no, because you need food and clothing, and you know, you got to find shelter, and there's predators out there and all this kind of stuff. The weather might be bad. It doesn't mean that we are so affected by those things. You know, before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. We're still involved in the same things. We still have fluctuating emotions. Enlightenment, or living a purposeful life, or being in alignment with your true self, or whatever you want to call it, being in tune with Spirit, doesn't get rid of your emotions. You still can get angry sometimes. You can still feel kind of blue for no reason. You can still be really, really cheerful one minute, and then maybe, you know, the next minute we're in pain. Maybe there's some emotional pain. I mean, we're still human beings, right? I think, most of us. So living this purposeful life, or being enlightened, or living in tune with Spirit, or being in alignment with your higher self, doesn't mean that we're always just joyfully pleasant and cheerful. Okay. So you're somebody who accepts your emotions. There is a time and a place to be angry. Are certainly reasons in life to be sad sometimes. And if you're not, then I wonder about you. You know? So I think this is very good energy here. It's very human energy. Now, in the environment, of course, we have the High Priestess. I think that you're somebody who's able to see the world around you and notice things that are standing out for you. You notice the little subtleties in the world around you that are synchronicities. Some of us just go through life la-di-da. We don't notice these things, right? but you're seeing like in between the leaves of the tree. You're seeing the little things that are there that shouldn't be there, right? And they're sort of sparkling a little bit more than the rest of the world, and those are meant for you. I think you're able to draw inspiration from the world around you, from nature, from other people. I think that you connect with spirit through the happenings of your sort of human environment. Yeah. The synchronicities offered by a word or a phrase that somebody randomly says to you, or, we're thinking about something in our minds and suddenly on the freeway we pass a billboard that has the same message on it, just like random stuff like that. Or you'll be talking about something, then suddenly a bird will just come and land on your shoulder and start chirping in your ear or something like this. So I think you're able to really extract meaning from the world around you in a way that is significant to you. A lot of synchronicities, and I think the more you pay attention, the more it happens. This is also in terms of your relationships with other people. I think you're somebody that people can tell you're connected. People notice something about you like that, and so it may be that you do tarot readings or divinations or some kind of oracle stuff, maybe even channeling for your friends or your family, because people they know you're tapped in, so they'll go and they'll ask you for advice. They'll ask you what do you see what do you see going on right now? Can you give me the insight into this situation right now? And so this is, I think this is a kind of a side effect of the way you're living your life. The way that you're trying to stay in tune with your higher self is, it's really manifesting as what they might call these psychic powers, right? And these are always something that they caution you against. Don't indulge in those psychic powers, right? Because that is going to diminish the significance of your spirituality. Yeah. But I think you're using your psychic powers in service to other people. I think that is a big part of what you find meaningful in that Nine of Cups. Yeah. Now, the devil energy here. What is the obstacle for you? What is it for you that you are unable to give up, that may be preventing you, or maybe even threatening your Nine of Cups, threatening it with a Nine of Swords? What is that thing what is that obstacle for you right now that your true self is saying you've got to get past it, so that you can maintain your Nine of Cups? Okay? Because that devil card, every card has light and shadow. Now, I think the devil card is powerful. A lot of endurance, a lot of stamina, wants to climb the mountain all the way to the top. And that's kind of what we got here. We could replace that over here, and now that devil card becomes kind of a greed. It kind of becomes, I just want the money. Give me the money. I want to get to the top of the hill, to the top of the mountain. I want to get to the very, very throne here before anybody else, right? So we've got this devil energy that's ready to just kick everybody else off the mountain so we can get to the top first. Okay, and we're putting in all that extra effort to do that. So that's just an example, anyway. But this is a driving force, right? This is that appetite. This is that hunger. This is put any mountain in front of the goat. The goat's going to climb to the very, very top. Okay, so we have to be careful, kind of what we unleash this goat on, what mountain we put in front of it. Yeah. But I feel like Spirit is placing this card in the position of your obstacle because there's some kind of a driving force in you that is a little bit of a challenge right now. And it might be, I don't know, I don't really want to speculate on it, okay? Because I feel like this is something that we have to tame within ourselves. And it feels like it's kind of a hunger. It feels like it's, I don't want to say greed or anything like that, or I don't want to call it overindulgence in anything. But there's a temptation. There's something that it's your kryptonite. What is your kryptonite right now? Okay? That is, if you allow it, will transform your Nine of Cups into a Nine of Swords. Because that's what we don't want. Okay? And of course, the Nine of Swords is that despair. And anytime we fall into a Nine of Swords energy, guess what? Anytime we get out of alignment with our true self, Spirit's going to send a Nine of Swords to us. So we can see that if we fall for those traps of this devil energy, we're going to get that Nine of Swords. That's going to be the message from Spirit, and we're going to feel that. And that doesn't feel good. It's meant as a kind of a corrective. It's Spirit kind of chiding us and saying, get back to the path. This isn't for you. Get back to the path, right? And so ideally we want to avoid this, but I think we all end up falling into this trap once in a while. It's kind of like a snare. We all get there once in a while, and then we realize that, okay, if I'm feeling that Nine of Swords, if I'm feeling that misery and that despair, that means that there is an obstacle that I have failed to confront, that there is something that I need to deal with right now, and that'll put me back on track, okay? So be aware of what that is. Maybe there isn't anything right now. That's good news. But that Devil card is there because eventually there will be. And we don't want to ever be blind when that starts coming around. We've got to see it. Okay. Let's look at our mystery card. We really don't need anything, right? We don't. I mean, we have everything we need here, so I can't imagine what this is going to be. Maybe it's going to be the Justice card, your Libra energy, your superpower card. Because then we'd have this higher discernment, the ability to kind of see, like, okay, is this bringing me a little bit of Nine of Swords, or is this bringing me more Nine of Cups? So we're able to kind of judge things in real time. That's what I'm voting for anyway here. If you have a prediction, please put it in the comments. The Two of Wands. And this kind of represents that either or too, you know. And it kind of is, we're putting energy into something. We're putting energy either into staying still or stagnating or going backwards or going downwards or we're putting our energy into moving forward. And we're holding on to the wand and we're holding on to the world and we're thinking, I can do this. I can move forward into the world and I can express myself out in this world. I can seize the world, right? It's kind of the world is in the palm of your hands kind of energy, which literally that's what the person's doing. You hold the potential of your best life in the palm of your hands. It's all about these moment-to-moment decisions. It's all about where we're placing our energy and how we are directing our spiritual will and our attention, right? Spirit's never going to force you to do anything. Spirit may make the conditions really miserable for you to try to get you to do something, to change something or whatever, but Spirit's never going to make you do it. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's any situation where you can't force somebody to do something, but you just make the conditions really, really bad until they want to do something. You know, and I can't think of an example here, but, it's not a very nice way to behave, I guess. But I find that does happen, and this is where we are here in this reading. That when we stray from the path, Spirit will let us know. Okay? Spirit will let us know. And it keeps us on that straight and narrow, you know. But you hold the future in your hands here. It's all about how you direct your energy. And this is not, you're either directed toward the Nine of Cups or the Nine of Swords, your choice. Yeah. It's also your choice to join me for the extended reading. We're going to do a hexagram from the I Ching. We'll do some oracle cards. There's a link in the corner. There's also one down in the video description. New readings for Libra on Wednesday and Saturday. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. Leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.